Hi, in this video I'm going to talk to you a bit about Heimerdinger and hopefully a few things that should help improve your play on him. First off, let's take a quick look at the runes and general items you're going to want to take on Heimer. This first set of runes is normally what I run in mid lane versus mages and in most matchups in general, as it gives you great poke with Airy, with mana flow band, especially by maxing W, means you can stay in lane quite long with resolve and poke out your enemy opponent. Now I normally take this rune set if I'm against 2 or more melee champions, like Zed with a Xin jungle, or say an Echo, or like a Nidalee jungle. This is to give you more burst when you land your E on people in your turret range. So when you're against a double melee matchup, say Zed and Xin, they're gonna jump on you like in your turrets all the time. So having electrocute instead of area means that you'll have a lot more damage when they actually engage on you, because they're not going to really give you the opportunity to poke them down. They're just going to jump straight on you. So having that extra burst from electrocute and the extra healing from Taste of Blood and Ravenous Hunter is really good. I would normally take sorcery as well, secondary, unless I'm against say Zed and I really want to get stopwatch, for example. Then going inspiration for the perfect timing is a lot more useful. Now taking a look at your build, the core items you're going for is Luden's first item, with Sork Shoes, and then if you're ahead or even in the lane, then I would go for early Oblivion Orb. This will give you double flat pen from Sork Shoes and Oblivion Orb, which means you'll do an awful lot more damage versus squishy targets, because it will pretty much negate their base MR, meaning you do like true damage to them. The only reason I wouldn't do this is if I was in, say, a tough matchup like against Fizz or Zed or LeBlanc, a champion that has kill pressure on you, in which case you may need to grab an early Zhonya's or an early Banshees, or even say like Merc Treads just to help you survive. Your sort of situational items are going to be, say, like Banshees and Zhonya's, depending on what you're against. Morello's if you're against like, so I'd often get an early Oblivion Orb, but I wouldn't actually upgrade that to Morello's early on unless I really had to against like a Vlad or a Soraka or a Swain. Otherwise, I can leave that just on the Oblivion Orb until sort of later on in the game, because you want to get Ludens in say like Deathcap or even like a Void Staff quite early on. Especially Deathcap second item is really strong. If you're ahead, Ludens into Deathcap gives you an awful lot of burst. Um, Other situation items can be Rylai's or even Leandry's. But that sort of depends on what team you're against. Whether you're against a heavy engaged team, then you need Rylai's to sort of help to slow them down. Or if you're, say, against lots of tanks, then Leandry's is really good because it gives you, obviously, percentage damage for the amount of time you're in combat. Okay, now going into the tips part of the video. The first one I want to talk to you about is the EQ combo, which you can do to catch people off guard. So when you throw your grenade, as you saw in those clips, it procs your turret laser to hit the enemy. So what you can do is you can throw your grenade and put your turret down as your grenade is in the air. This will give the enemy a much less time to react to it, and also guarantee that your turret is in range to hit them with the laser as they get stunned. This is a really good combo in lane. It's an easy way to proc electrocute with an auto attack as well. Something you should also take advantage of as Heimerdinger is your ability to sneak early objectives like Baron and Dragon. You can do Dragon over the wall from fairly on in the game, especially if you use your ultimate, and you can also sneak Baron at around 20-minute mark with your jungler as long as you're not behind, using the blast cone to avoid any potential wards in the river, such as the scuttle. A thing to notice, you can blast your mini turrets over, but not your ultimate turret, so make sure that you put that down after you're in the pit. Also make sure that your jungler tanks the Baron so that you don't take the damage reduction debuff, because it will mean you do an awful lot slower. If you're going to solo the Baron like you can do later, make sure you tank with your ultimate turret. Moving on, Heimerdinger's ult is the biggest variable in his kit, and often people don't use it to its full potential. You have three options when using his ult, and it's important to know which one is the best in certain situations. Your ult grenade is the most forgotten upgrade, yet the most powerful. When used in a teamfight on several targets, it can provide more damage than any of the others whilst also providing CC. It is also much better for reaching the backline targets and the squishy members than, say, Alt W is. Your Alt W will easily be blocked by the frontline tanks, and you won't be able to do any damage to the backline, whereas your Alt Grenade you can go all the way through, prevent their backline from shredding your frontline, and also CCing the entire enemy team. Now, your ult turret is much more useful early in the game, and also just in like 2v1 situations, as you can see here. The constant damage that it outputs, as well as the slow, to allow you to kite round your turrets with your passive movement speed. Easily enables you to 2v1 opponents early in the game, which is inevitably going to happen because you're playing Heimerdinger and junglers hate you. Your Alt W is much better for catching people out and bursting them down like quickly. If you land a stun in lane or even just on a squishy later in the game, your Alt W will mean that you can one-shot them pretty much anywhere. It's also worth mentioning you can flash whilst in your Alt W, as you can see there, to reposition. Anyways, I hope this video has been helpful and it will help the 2 other people who actually play Heimerdinger to improve or whatever. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'm thinking of making this into a series, so if you have any ideas on what champions or suggestions of what champions you'd like me to do next, then comment below, let me know, whatever. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see ya.